Not too long ago, we did a review of this crazy putter from Spoiler Golf. This is like the OG spoiler, and you can tell why they call it spoiler. It's got a spoiler on it, and it's got this lead edge roll. The theory behind that was that when people are struggling putting, a lot of times you'll take a wedge for practice and just try to hit the equator of the golf ball and get a better roll. It works. It's just hard to putt with a wedge. So they made a putter that resembled that, with that grooved face and that rolled front edge, so that you can get a good roll with the golf ball. But not everybody is a fan of the mallet-shaped spoiler. So, welcome. Spoiler Golf has made a new model, the Riv Blade, retailing $300-ish. I'll leave a link in the video description below. What do you think of this head cover? It's like a racing stripe on it. I feel like Speed Racer a little bit. I like it. So the original spoiler, it's that typical, let's say, face balance putter, sort of. That would be face balance, but it's right about face balanced, square to square. You get it, kind of straight back, straight through. But what if you're not that type of putter? Ah, looky, looky. The Riv Blade, toe down, not 45 degree toe down, but close. Here's a similar model. You can see it's very similar to your traditional plumber's neck toe down or flow putter. A lot of people prefer this model, but does it work? That's the real question. So here's what we're gonna do. We got our Foresight Quad Max in putting mode, and we're gonna test to see what type of roll we get from our golf ball using, well, a wedge, because that's what these were designed after, and we'll compare it to, you know, your traditional putter and see if it actually looks better, rolls better, performs better, because that's ultimately what we want. We want to make more putts. Let's get cracking. Ideally with a golf ball, when you hit a putt, that ball should launch in the air with little spin, then land some skid or no skid and start rolling. The better it does it in terms of less height, less distance in the air, and a sooner forward roll, the better the ball will typically perform. Now, there's a lot of variables in that too, such as the green condition, where you strike it on the golf ball, your descent or attack angle of the putter into the ball. All these things play a huge major factor. So ultimately, it's just based on my numbers, but we'll give it to you so you can kind of judge for yourself and see if this is something that will benefit you. First off, what type of roll do I get if I struggle with the putter and I need a better roll? People get their wedge in here and they just roll it. So let's see what the wedge performance is. Well, you can see why they do it. That rolled pretty good. And we got 6.6 inches of carry, 23 inches of skid. So that's how far the ball skid before it rolled from point of impact, 23.4 inches, and our launch angle was 3.3 degrees. That's not bad. I can see why people use the wedge when they're struggling, and it's a good practice tool. But let's see what a conventional putter gets us, and then we'll dig into the spoiler blade and see what that performs like. All right, here we go. Unbiased results, just facts and figures and numbers, and we're gonna give you feel, but that's all subjective. I like that. Well, that went in. All right, we got 10 inches of carry, 26.2 skid, and a launch of 4.1. So the numbers were greater with this than the wedge. Actually, the wedge got better performance than a putter. So here we go. The moment you've been waiting for. Is this the secret to your putting woes? Let's get numbers first, then we're gonna hit some putts, and we'll give you my subjective interpretation review of this Riv spoiler putter. All right, here we go. Just gonna hit it. and talk about it. I love the setup, by the way. I like that red line on top. Okay, we got 16.2 carry inches and 10.3 of skid and a 7-degree launch. So it launched it higher for some reason. Now this is a very unique technology. So I would think that if I were to kind of hit up on it, those grooves would grab it and throw that ball more in the air. So I'm actually gonna try to hit a little more down on the ball and just see what we get. You might have to tweak your performance. From what I've understood about these, is it's better for a down strike. So we'll see. Well, that was a better performance. Oh, this is interesting. 0.0 inches of carry, but 34 inches, almost 3 feet of skid. So all I really did was back the ball up so I can get a little bit more on the down strike. Let's just split the difference. We want a little carry and less skid. We'll see if it happens. It did feel good though, the roll to me. Okay. Well, I felt like I split the difference. I got 0 carry and 21 inches. So we kind of split the difference. I think I could still go a little bit more, but already we're getting very little carry. You need some. So I want one more putt just to know where to position that ball before we start really putting it to the test. It feels good. It does look like it hop. All right, 22 inches of carry, 18 inches of skid. I don't know, but we're gonna see if we can make a ton of putts with this thing, because that's the ultimate test. Let's do it. I will never use a putter that I can't make short putts with. So we're just gonna go around the hole here and see if we can make or feel confident about the short 3-footers, uphill, downhill, the whole deal. And just trust that I don't have to like manipulate anything. I could just swing the putter. Okay, I did miss one. That's gonna happen, whatever. It was a good stroke. That felt good. One of the claims is that you just have a larger area to strike the ball in terms of, vertical area and horizontal area. So I'm gonna see like what happens when I hit it off the toe a little bit. Well, yeah, you'll miss. It does look like the ball is bouncing. Not that one, the other one's. I do love the shape of this, I gotta say. It does feel good there on the short putts. Moving on. Do I have the same confidence from this distance? Well, that rolled nicely from this distance. Ooh. It almost rolls better the farther you are from the hole, at least at that length. I felt like at this length, I was getting a little bounces. I think there is a learning curve here to the putt, to be honest with you. The weighting of this is spectacular, so there's nothing awkward that you're gonna feel. The only awkwardness would be the feel of the face, which is not awkward, it's just different than what we're used to. Long putts, let's see. And the last and final test is, I'll put a line on the ball and we will see how true it rolls end over end with a good strike. Because if it hits and does that, it's a no-go. So that's kind of the last thing I do. So far, so good. 40, 50 footers now. All right, totally different angle now. So we're not just repeating the same putt over and over. Okay, that thing hopped like a rabbit. I didn't like that. All right, try again. Yeah, that's hopping. All right, maybe it's me. I know what you're gonna say. We gotta test it. I'm gonna do that same putt with the other putter because these hopped big time. It's a slow green. It's in good shape, but it's a little slower. I'm going uphill, so you gotta hit it firm. So it did hop. All right, conventional style putter. Are we getting the same hopping? No. We'll do 2 with this one. No, that's pure roll. Oh, there we go. I made it roll correctly. I might have made it. I figured it out. I figured out what you have to do, and it's good. I just want to make sure, verify one more long putt. Well, 3 more. Is it true? That's a good roll. A little bouncy. Did I make that one? Ooh, hello. All right, what I did there was, and I verified it, you kind of do have to hit the center of the ball and up. If you hit too low, it flies in the air, and if you hit too high, it bounces up. So you really gotta, it does take some practice. You do have to catch the center equator of the ball with a little up swing, with a little up motion, attack angle, positive. And then it rolls way better. Let's do the line test, and then I'll give you my thumbs up or thumbs down on the rib spoiler. Look at these guys at Groove Fix gave me this ball marker. It's not a ball marker, a line deal. And you just kind of set your ball in there, boom. Look, they put my MrShortGame logo on it too. How nice are those guys? All right, give them a little shout out here, and then you put your line right here. It's perfect. I've got my line lined up where I want to start the ball. I line up the red line of the putter with the line on the ball. Perfect. Oh, that's a tight line. Okay, that rolled perfectly. As long as it rolls true, that's all that matters, because the bumpiness could be a case of the actual green itself. But the purity of the line roll, that's 100% you. See, that line's rolling perfect. It does roll true on that line. What do you guys think? Thumbs up or thumbs down for the spoiler Riv blade? I love the look, to be honest with you. The feel is really good, and I like being able to swing the putter. And I'll tell you, when I was lining the line up with the line on my ball, I was getting a true roll. So plus, thumbs up for that. It did look a little bouncy to me, more bouncy than the other one, but it could be just the greens. But either way, I like the true roll and the good feel. So if you're looking for something different, something new and original, I want to give this a try. Link in the video description below. Love you guys. See you next time.